Hello and welcome to a brand new series that we are starting on the Learning Crypto channel, which is Monday markets and last orders on a Friday with me, Gaz, analyst for Learning Crypto. And what the idea of this series is that pretty self-explanatory. Monday, we're going to be taking a look at the markets, what's going to potentially be happening this week, things to watch out for. As you can see on the watch list, we've got alts to watch this week, certain news, anything with some upcoming fundamentals, all that sort of stuff. So Mondays we're going to be taking a look at what could potentially happen, and then Fridays we're going to review what happened in the week and potentially have a look at some setups for the following week as well. So 2 videos a week, Mondays and Fridays, all free here on YouTube. So this is, as I say, brand new series. So what we're going to be doing is we want to make this your sort of one-stop shop for what's happening in the markets each week. So if you've got any ideas on some improvements or things you'd like to see included, then drop them in the comments below. We're obviously trying to improve as we go, make it the best service possible. Obviously we can't do anything in terms of financial advice, so no portfolio reviews or is this coin any good sort of thing, none of that, or certainly no tax questions. Please don't ask any tax questions. But yeah, in terms of like analysis or looking at certain projects, that kind of thing, as I say, any improvements you want to see, drop them in the comments below and we'll see what we can do. So rather than look at the charts first, I think what we should probably do is take a look at the big stuff happening in macro this week. So let's take a look at the US economic calendar and what we've got this week. As we can see, we've got a speech from Fed Chair Jerome Powell tomorrow morning. Not sure what he's going to be talking about, whether that's going to move the markets or not, we'll have to see. But he's probably not too happy about the recent rally we've been seeing, obviously trying to tame inflation and destroy demand, which currently isn't happening at the moment. Markets are rallying pretty well, and the reason being, or I believe, is because of the forecast of CPI, which we're actually going to see the real results of on Thursday. So this is obviously December's CPI data, which will be revealed on Thursday. And as you can see, if you look at median forecast in this sort of third column and previous in the last column, look at the readings are coming in that CPI is going to be lower than previous. So obviously if that is the case, then you're probably going to see a pretty decent run, risk on. So things like the S&P, crypto, etc. are going to have a pretty decent rally. So maybe that's what is going on in the market, a bit of front running this good news. However, could be a trap. Who knows what the actual data is going to come out at. If it actually comes in higher than expected, then maybe we're going to see a sharp turnaround. Also on Friday, doesn't say on here, but if we take a look at the earnings calendar, this Friday we've got some pretty big hitters with their Q4 earnings. So you've got JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, BlackRock, etc. So Friday could be a pretty crazy day as well. So let's go back to the charts, and what we're going to run through, BTC, Ethereum, probably we're going to look at S&P, or the S&P futures, which is ES1, DXY, VIX, and then as you can see, alts to watch. So quick run through. So my analysis on BTC, we've got this monthly level resistance up here at 21.5k, which is the start of this most recent leg down, and then we've got this level of support down here at 13k, which I think every man and his dog has got on these charts. Break it down to the weekly, and you can see we've got a few weekly levels here. So the first one is this weekly level of support at 16.3k, which was the start of the huge leg down in January 2018, and also, as you can see, as respected as resistance here in November 2020, flipped to support in the same month, and then as you see, we've been holding it ever since we crashed down in the beginning of November. Range high, so that's our range low. We've got a range high, which is this resistance, previous support 19k, pretty self-explanatory. Start of this leg move in December 2020 and held a support all the way from June till it was lost in November. So solid support, that's our range high. And the reason we've got this level here at 17.6, if we just get our fib tool, and you can see that is pretty much, well, it is bang on the mid-range, and it also lines up beautifully with these two wicks of these candles here. So nice decent mid-range, and as you can see we rejected it back in the 12th of December 2022. If we knock it down then to the daily, we've just got the one level at the moment because most of the higher time frame levels are doing the work for us. As you can see, that weekly level was previously or could be construed as a daily level, as a range high, little deviation there, but we've got it as a weekly level, and that's probably my next target for BTC. As you can see, we had this level here at 16.9 daily level, resistance, finally popped over the top on Friday, held as support on Saturday, and looking like it's rallying potentially up to that 17.6 level, maybe take out these highs. We've got a little daily level here, just at 17.8. So potentially a move up to that level there. As I say, we've got the CPI data coming out Thursday, and as I say, if that comes in lower than expected, then you could see a pretty good run. If it closes above 17.8, then I think we could see it go all the way up to 19k. However, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We don't know what's actually going to happen the rest of the week. It could be quite a turbulent week. As I say, it could be a bit of a trap. Let's take a look at Ethereum monthly. So pretty basic levels here. We've got 838, which is the start of this leg down here in May 2018. Just not quite tested to support when we dropped in June, stopped just above about 890, and then we've got this clear level of previous support and now resistance at 1721. If we go to the weekly, so this level here at 1260, not only is it the mid-range of the monthly range, so if we again get our fib tool out, you can see almost lines up perfectly, but you can also see that it was a very significant level, or still is a significant level. Start of this leg down Jan 2018, resistance, flipped to support, and again here it got lost as support, resistance, closed back above, held as support, closed back below resistance, had a little deviation here back in sort of November, December, and now we've closed back over it again. So we could see a rally up to maybe this monthly level of 1721. There's not much in terms of resistance in my opinion here, so we'll see what happens. If we knock it down to the daily, this is where we could see some sticking points if it doesn't get up there. So if you take a look at this daily level here, very significant level at 1335, as you can see. Start of this leg of the move was support, flipped to resistance, and we've not broke over it since we broke below it on the 8th of November. So break above that, then I think we've got a clear run up to at least 1516. Then break above that, then as well I think we go and attack this level just here, which is 1656, which would then more or less be the monthly level 1721. What led this rally was obviously the breaking of this significant level here at 1226, few tests, rejection, then finally popped up above and off it went. So levels to keep in mind, and as I say, if we get over the top of this and then CPI data is good, we could see that run along with Bitcoin as well, if it gets above its own level at 1787. So some very interesting setups potentially, but as I say, let's not get too carried away. If we take a look at the S&P futures, so monthly levels, we've got 4327 as resistance and 3587 basically as a monthly range. If we chuck the fib onto that and then knock it down to the weekly, we can see that we are pretty much approaching, well, we're approaching the mid-range here, so it could be a very interesting level. You obviously see where it broke over the top, held as support, and then broke below, so interesting to see how it reacts to that. We've also got this weekly bearish trend line as well, so it could be a very interesting area, about 4,000. Maybe see a rejection at another lower high. We've also got this weekly level up here at 4175, which is the most recent rejection, which again respected the bearish trend line. If we go down to the daily, so you can see that if we actually get our monthly range back on, you can see that this daily level almost but not quite sort of lines up with that mid-range in a similar sort of area as well, with these candle wicks and candle body closes. But if you take a look at this daily range, so you've got 3751 as the range low, 4110 as the range high, and then this level that we've got marked out in the middle is the mid-range of that daily range. And as we can see, very significant level. Start of this leg down here, broke over the top, held as support for quite a while, rallied, hit that weekly level, come back down, and now it's flipped to resistance, and we're just approaching it now. So again, break over the top potentially, and then have a little rally. Do we stop at the weekly bearish trend line, make another lower high, or do we break out, test this daily level, and go from there? We'll have to wait and see. As I say, turbulent week this week. We'll have to keep an eye on things. Lastly, we'll take a look at or in fact, we'll look at the VIX as well, but the DXY, so this is obviously the dollar. We're at a level of huge support here. So this is the monthly time frame. As you can see, this goes all the way back to 1974. So yeah, pretty solid level of support and resistance, as you can see, throughout all those decades. We're sat right on it now, and if we go to the weekly, again, really solid level. And we've come back down into it, testing it as support. We obviously broke over the top, coming back down as support. However, it's not looking like it's bouncing. We've had a couple of attempts to try and break out of it, especially last week. It looks like a bit of a rejection. So if we see the DXY breaking down, obviously risk assets are going to do very well. However, this level isn't broken just yet, but there is certainly that opportunity. Finally, if we go and take a look at the VIX on the weekly, so the common phrase is, when the VIX is high, time to buy. When the VIX is low, look down below. So essentially what you want to be doing is you want to be selling when the VIX comes down low. And as you can see, we've had a lot of bounces from down at this sort of 19 to 20 range. So are we going to see the markets rally, VIX come down into that level, everything hits resistance, VIX hits support, and then time to flip bearish again, potentially? Maybe this week we see that rally into some higher resistances, and then a sell-off. We'll have to wait and see, potentially. So lastly then, we'll take a look at alts to watch. So if we take a look at ZIL on the monthly, the reason we're looking at these two, they both popped very aggressively literally this morning, or last night and this morning. However, they are heading into some higher time frame resistances. As I mentioned, are we going to see a lot of coins do this rally up into some higher resistances? People get excited and they end up buying buying the local top, the bear market rally top. So as we can see, nice, simple, easy monthly level of resistance here, all the way back from 2019. As you can see, very well respected. We're heading right into it here. Also, if we break it down to the weekly, we've got this bearish trend line as well. So this looks like a perfect area if maybe you wanted to take some profit on spot, or maybe try a short. Very good risk reward in my opinion. If we take a look at how far it's rallied off the lows, you'd be looking at about an 80% rally off the lows, which is a pretty decent bear market rally. And as I say, we've got this monthly level of resistance, pretty clear on the weekly as well, really crisp, clean level. And we've also got this bearish trend line. So pretty good risk reward in my opinion. Or obviously if we break above both the bearish trend line and hold above the resistance and flip to support, then maybe we see a decent rally. But that looks like a good setup for me, but more a word of caution not to FOMO in on setups like this. If you're buying here, then the risk reward is definitely not in your favor. So be careful about FOMOing into things that are rallying hard. And finally, ADA, we take a look at the weekly. Again, this is rallying pretty well, but if we take a look left, we can see we've got these two huge weekly levels. So this first one that we're currently tapping, and we've actually had a little rejection off so far. It's the start of this leg of the move in Feb 21, and as you can see, support here in October and November before being lost, and then acting as resistance ever since. And then if we get above that, maybe, as I say, we have this rally this week, flip that into support, and then head higher into this bigger resistance area. As you can see, start of this leg of the move back in April 2018, resistance here in Jan 21, flip to support May 22, July 22, before finally being broken, and then it actually acted as resistance as well. So could we see a break above that into where this bearish weekly bearish trend line meets this weekly resistance level, perhaps. So yeah, a few setups there on ADA, so potential shorts or profit taking areas. Again, if you've managed to buy some spot down here, you're looking at currently about 40%. If it goes higher to that next resistance band, you're looking at about 60-70%. So again, pretty decent bear market rally. Not a bad place to book some profits or look for some potential short plays. As I say, I think your risk reward is in your favor there. Obviously, the higher we go up. So hope you enjoyed that. That is the first edition of Monday Markets with me, Gaz. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it useful. As I say, we'll be looking to improve this as we go. So drop some suggestions, things you want to see in the comments below. And I will see you on Friday. So as I say, be careful this week. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of macro. Markets could be pretty crazy. So if you're not already in a position, I would probably advise sitting on your hands because you can't get burnt on the sidelines. So have a good week, guys, and I'll catch you on Friday.